In New York, Dominicanos look out for each other like familia. That's why whenever someone sends money to DR, I tell them about Remitly. From your phone, you can transfer to a bank or make a home delivery with Caribe Express, and the money arrives rapidísimo. Confía, because they got you.
Consistently competitive in pesos, get a special offer on your first transfer. Download the Remitly app today. Remitly Inc. is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services.
Episode 1775 of No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to another day in paradise. Woohoo! Boy, is this exciting to be captive in my home. Oh, I'm loving every moment of this. And today's show is about how you should respond to an emailed rejection letter for a job you never interviewed for. Hope you find this helpful and give it a great review wherever you listen to the show. And by the way, if you have a question for me, there's a service called Wizio.com. That's WISIO.com/The Big Game Hunter. Go to the page, ask me a question. It's very inexpensive. You get a 3 to 5 minute video back from me. And with that, let's get going. And someone posed a question of me that I thought would be useful. It took me a little while to sort out a second possible meaning for the question. And that is, how should I respond to an email rejection from a company I didn't interview with? Now, my first reaction was to say they submitted their resume and they got turned down. That one I had an instant response to. But then there was the second one, and I'll get to that one in a second. And that one came to me a little bit later. So I'm glad I didn't just respond right away with a video. And you'll understand why in a second. So let's say you've submitted your resume to an employer, and they respond with an email rejection. How should you respond to that? Should you respond to that? And the answer is no, do not respond to it. Learn from it. Take a look at the job ad. Take a look at your resume. How did you demonstrate your fit for the role? Most people send the same resumes out over and over again. And like the watch that's right about 2 times a day, their resume will get them a certain number of interviews, but they're not doing any work to make a case for their candidacy. And thus a firm sends out a rejection email basically saying, thanks, but no thanks, we're not interested in talking to you. And if you respond to that, all you're doing is demonstrating that you're a fool and they made the right decision. You didn't do the work. You didn't position your resume in a way that showed that you were the solution to what they wanted and needed. So that's on you. That's not on them. And responding to it isn't going to work anyway. You're going to waste a lot of effort, and you'll have missed the learning opportunity and put the blame on them when the blame should be on you. Second option, this one came to me a little bit later, and that's the notion of they got a phone interview, but they didn't get an in-person interview. Interesting. So they don't consider that it was a real interview because they spoke to a corporate recruiter or an agency recruiter, and they got a rejection email. What do you do then? Well, the answer is, again, it's on you. You didn't make a case for why you fit the requirement. You didn't interview well. And thus, the answer comes down to you need to practice interviewing. You need to be in a place where you can speak freely, and if you're not, schedule a time to get back to them so that you can speak openly and freely. You'll talk with them as soon as they call you about what the nature of the role is so that you can be brought up to date, and then target your answers to what matters to them. Again, you don't just talk about what you've done, you talk about what you've done that matters to them. And unless you make a strong enough case, you don't get invited in to meet with the team, with your boss, your future, or with the hiring manager, with anyone else. It's over and done with. So how should you respond? Learn from it. That's the best thing that you can do. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few more ways to get information and advice from me. First of all, there's my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. I have more than 8,000 blog posts there that you can watch, listen to, or read that will help you find your next job. In addition, if you're interested in my coaching you, at the site there's a button there that says schedule. Schedule time for a free discovery call, schedule yourself in for coaching, interview preparation coaching, salary negotiation advice, coaching related to hiring more effectively, managing and leading, helping you to be a better executive in your organization, and overall being a better employee of your firm. If you have questions for me, you can ask them at wisio.com/thebiggamehunter. That's wisio.com/thebiggamehunter. The price at Wisio is less than 1/3 of what I'm charging at my website. And I'm doing this because I want to benefit my subscribers here and on YouTube, and only you're going to know about it. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. Mention that you watched or listened to my content. I like knowing I'm helping folks. Once we're connected, it's nice to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you from time to time about how I'm helping. You can also watch me on TV. Did you know that? If you have a Fire TV or a Fire Stick, download the Job Search TV app for Apple TV, Roku, Sony, Samsung, like 90 different TV platforms. You can watch me on either Zingo TV or BingeNetworks.tv. On YouTube, subscribe at JobSearchTV.com and have access to thousands of videos I've created. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Be great!